Welcome back. Yes, welcome back from the long Easter weekend. While we're back to business as usual, the fight against COVID-19 continues. Let's persevere so we can stay alive. Mask up, sanitize, and social distance. This is Jamaica Magazine, and I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay with us. There is much to know between the pages.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, April 6. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton says he's anticipating a greater turnout for the upcoming island-wide COVID-19 vaccination Blitz events. He says this will be achieved as additional stakeholders come on board to help encourage more persons to get inoculated as well as to reduce the vaccine hesitancy in the country.
What we really want to get out of this is a unified message to the country, to the people of Jamaica, that this is a risk that affects all of us, and so it requires a solution from all of us. And in this instance, the idea that has to be championed here is the safety and wellness of the entire population for the benefit of all of us.
Minister Tufton was speaking at the second vaccination blitz held on Saturday at the National Arena. Approximately 1,038 persons were inoculated on the day with their first dose of the vaccine. The target group was 75 years and older and included persons on the reserve list, such as those 60 years and older. For his part, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie says he will be enlisting the assistance of all 63 members of Parliament and 230 municipal councillors across Jamaica to further bolster the initiative.
I brought about 80 persons from my constituency, and what that will do for the program, when those persons go back to their respective communities and they speak to their neighbors and the neighbors see them for 2-3 days with no problem, we are encouraging people to come, and I am giving the full commitment of local government in the process as we try to vaccinate as many Jamaicans as we can.
On April 10, the Health Ministry will roll out its 3-month island-wide vaccination blitz events. The mass vaccination plan aims to inoculate 1,000 persons in a day at a single location. Approximately 2,000 persons are earning from the e-commerce national delivery system ENDS platform, which was piloted on March 26. The program has been extended from Portmore St. Catherine to include Kingston and St. James. While touring St. James on Sunday, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security Matthew Samuda said ENDS had allowed a steady flow of business for vendors in the parish.
They've had hundreds of orders since the space has finished. We're very happy that they have been able to facilitate and continue business. It means a lot to them, it means a lot to their families, and it means a lot to us.
According to Minister Samuda, other than the economic benefit, ENDS had also brought structure to some of the sectors.
One of the things we've seen is that many businesses that were not compliant either with their up-to-date licenses have become so, including many bikes that were not up-to-date have paid for their carriage licenses, they've paid for their bike riding licenses. We're ensuring that they also have provided to us evidence of helmets. So some of the basic issues that plague the society all the time, and the lack of structure in some industries is already being rectified.
The initial Portmore leg of ENDS saw close to 500 persons registered on the system. The numbers include over 100 bikers, couriers and drivers, approximately 15 independent vendors, over 23 small businesses, over 9 quick service providers and just under 400 employees. The update came from Christopher Record, chairman of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ's Innovation and Digital Transformation Committee.
If you add up the impact that all of those folks who would have been sitting at home doing nothing versus them out there now earning a living and also providing some sort of a service and support for somebody else, the domino effect, I think, is very, very positive.
The initiative is a partnership between the government and the PSOJ. ENDS enables registered quick service industry and delivery stakeholders to operate until midnight during the hours of the curfew that has been imposed to restrict the spread of COVID-19 infections. Meanwhile, entrepreneurs who participated in the pilot phase of the ENDS program say they are grateful for the rollout of this initiative. A number of entrepreneurs have told JIS News that ENDS is helping them to recover from losses they have incurred since the curfew measures were implemented last year.
It's the way to go because COVID is going to be with us for a little while. So let us use ENDS to fight COVID in terms of getting persons to have their needs met as best as we can.
Pan chicken vendor from Nago Head in Portmore, Verrill Scarlett, says prior to ENDS, loss of business negatively impacted his ability to pay his bills. But now he's able to recover some of those losses even during curfew hours.
I'm excited because when a lockdown, you have to stay home. Now you can come on the road, you can do your thing, and somebody can say, hey, I want a piece of chicken online, and you're gone. So you might sell a few pieces, and if you stay home, nothing. So it's good.
The e-commerce national delivery system ENDS will be in operation again this weekend for the third consecutive weekend of lockdown to contain the spread of the coronavirus. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has hailed the first 2 weekends of island-wide lockdown as having a positive impact on the country's crime rate. The minister says with the robust mobilization of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to ensure public order, the public has been largely compliant with the lockdown orders.
30 officers in the carpet area coming from different formations who were organized and superintended to go across the carpet area and check on what's happening. But what I would say on the last weekend and this weekend, while in that addition to commending the officers for the work they're putting in, really the people of Jamaica deserve full commendation.
Minister Chang was speaking to the media during a tour of the operation of the e-commerce national delivery system ENDS program in Montego Bay on Sunday. He said a number of police officers were redeployed and pulled from special units and put on patrol during the weekend lockdown hours. The security minister said government was working on continuing the ENDS program beyond an emergency response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
The numbers keep climbing, and yet some of you are still complaining about curfew times. Is that being selfish, or are you being smart? You continue to blame the government, stating they are not doing enough. But the big question is, are you doing your part to help decrease the spread? The unfortunate reality is that far too many people refuse to take the coronavirus pandemic seriously until they or someone they love gets infected. Now, this is what we do not want, and I don't believe I can stress this enough. Wear your mask, sanitize. Of course, we love to hug and socialize, but just ease off some of that right now. Not just for your safety, but also for others. It look hard for your relatives to be home doing all they need to in order not to catch the virus, and you out on the road being reckless and carrying it right home to them. Each one of us needs to help during this fight against COVID-19 as we work to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business in a healthy environment.
A holistic approach is being taken by the government to achieve economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. It includes infrastructure and social development, as well as measures to protect the health and safety of citizens. For the details, here's Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
We are using the challenges thrust upon us by the pandemic as an opportunity to reconfigure and reorganize our society into a smarter, greener, safer, and more caring society.
Recovering stronger. That's the mantra of the Andrew Holness-led administration. And in financial year 2021-2022, plans have been set in motion to do just that.
In the midst of crisis, this government has not faltered, and we are turning crisis into opportunity. You can feel secure and confident that this government will continue its wise and judicious management of your affairs, protecting both your life and life.
A year into the COVID-19 pandemic, the state has introduced stricter containment measures to include a ticketing system. There's been an increase in bed capacity with the build-out of field hospitals. Testing capacity has also been improved.
Chase has been directed to fund the acquisition of a genome sequencer and the requisite accessories and reagents.
And the vaccination program has begun.
We expect to continue receiving small amounts but sufficient supplies to keep our vaccination program active. I believe that the sector that has been hardest hit by the pandemic is education.
In a bid to turn this around, the Minister of Education will submit a comprehensive study on learning loss and make recommendations to Cabinet by June 15. With plans to have children back in school by September, teachers will be prioritized for vaccination. Some schools will provide makeup classes, and a $50 million program will be launched to distribute tablets to over 2,000 infant schools across the island.
We can report that we ended 2020 with less murders than the previous year. And since 2018, we have essentially flattened the murder curve.
Building on that achievement, 2 more communities will benefit from zones of special operations, ZOZAs. The island's anti-gang strategy, the use of forensics, improvements in the working conditions of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, along with the incorporation of technology, will see even more results in arresting crime. The National Commission on Violence Prevention has submitted its 10-year strategic plan for Cabinet's approval. The National Housing Trust has been providing its Fresh Start rescheduling facility for mortgages in need of financial relief. The cash funds granted to public sector workers have been extended until April 2022, and unemployed contributors and mortgages may access their contribution refunds 1 year in advance. A low-cost housing design competition will be launched to provide affordable and climate-resilient houses under the new social housing program.
We will recover with plans and policies that are designed for orderly development.
The National Land Agency has begun a major land titling program with the issuing of 10,000 titles in fiscal year 2021-2022.
The NLA will implement an electronic title registration system available to professionals, attorneys, mortgagees, and surveyors to replace the existing paper-based system.
Environmental protection is twinned with the orderly use of lands. As such, the state will be promulgating a new Protected Areas Act to create a national protective areas system. And plans are in place to develop a special fund to acquire lands considered environmentally sensitive. A master plan is being prepared for the holistic and sustainable development of Halfway Tree and Constant Spring Road local planning areas.
Infrastructure investment is not merely about projects and assets. It's about using the physical building structure to enhance lives.
The new Houses of Parliament complex is slated to start early in the 2022-23 financial year. Phase 2 of the Port Royal Cruise Terminal is expected to be completed in the year. Upgrades to the Freeport terminal in Montego Bay are ongoing, and plans are in place to transform the Freeport roadway. A new town centre is planned for Falmouth in Trelawney. The multi-year project is to be developed on 50 acres of land near the town.
We intend to make Falmouth, with all its rich history, a premier destination for cruise and attractions, as well as a centre for lifestyle and long-stay leisure.
And plans are in train to package assets in the Montego Bay Special Economic Zone and the Portmore Informatics Park for listing on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
We are making the investments as we reimagine the future of the tourism and global outsourcing sector, ensuring that Jamaica recovers faster, stronger, and better than before.
At the Urban Development Corporation, the $1.3 billion free access Harmony Beach Park in Montego Bay is now complete. The agency will also continue work on the Montego Bay waterfront, complete feasibility studies for the Montego Oceanarium, develop the 28-kilometer Kingston Harbour Walk, and create a climate park in Portmore St. Catherine.
We will recover, and we will recover stronger.
The $1.2 billion Montego Bay Perimeter Road project, which is fully funded by the Government of Jamaica, will get underway in the fiscal year. The Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project will be fast-tracked in the year. As part of the project, a bypass road will be created for Port Antonio in Portland. Bridges in St. Thomas, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Andrew will receive needed attention. 6 projects are being prioritized to improve congestion, increase road safety, and provide water and sewerage to support future development.
The NAA is ready to commence the Lentman program in 2021-2022 with a pilot that will run from Dunrobin Avenue along Washington Boulevard to Mandela Highway, leading to the Josemati roundabout.
The agency will also spend $50 million on a road safety program. Over at the National Water Commission, the $4 billion St. Andrew Transmission Main Upgrade project continues. So too are projects for Red Hills, Arthur Wint Drive, Port Royal in Kingston and St. Andrew, as well as the pipeline between Mamby Bay and Falmouth. The Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority has facilitated 183 entities operating in special economic zones across 11 parishes. The Development Bank of Jamaica is also supporting growth in the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises (MSMEs) sector. $4 billion in loans have been approved, 163 guarantees valued at $851.2 million have been issued, and funds have been secured to increase the bank's credit enhancement facility.
The DBJ will be launching Go Digital on the 1st of April 2021, a new and revolutionary technical assistance program geared to promote the adoption of cutting-edge technology practices among MSMEs by providing vouchers that are redeemable at the approved business development organization.
The bank has established an enterprise team for the sale of 1,000 acres of the Bernard Lodge development. Work is also advanced on the public offerings of government's stake in the Jamaica Public Service and the Jamaica Mortgage Bank. It's clear that the government will stay the course, managing the affairs of the country judiciously and taking the necessary steps to bounce back.
We will recover, and we will recover stronger.
Jamaica, we are in the throes of a pandemic. COVID-19 cases are on the rise. COVID-19 related deaths are climbing. COVID-19 bed capacity at our hospitals has been maxed out. Yet still, some of us continue to flout the COVID-19 containment measures. Some of us still refuse to wear masks in public places. We still gather in groups of more than 10. We still break the curfew hours. And we still attend illegal parties. Wise up! Take responsibility for your health. Safeguard the health of your loved ones. Obey the COVID-19 protocols.
Informing.
Jamaica today confirmed its first imported case of coronavirus.
Educating.
If you follow the recommended procedures, it is highly likely that you will not get the disease.
Going beyond to keep you informed and connected.
Welcome to Get the Fact.
Even through the pandemic. Helping you stay safe while we protect ourselves. Dependable. Impactful. Accurate.
This is your JIS News.
Credible. Trustworthy. Every day, everywhere. Serving our customers proudly.
You know, what people always say, who can hear will what? Feel. Up next, monetary fines if you are caught flouting the COVID-19 regulations. Watch this as a warning.
These penalties do not replace the sanctions for offenses that are already in the Principal Disaster Risk Management Act. Anyone who commits an offense, who is brought to the court convicted before a resident magistrate, parish court is still liable to the maximum fine of $1 million or to imprisonment not exceeding 1 year.
The Disaster Risk Management Amendment Act 2021 was passed in both houses of Parliament to strengthen the enforcement of COVID-19 protocols. The bill specifies 10 levels or tiers of fixed penalties, which range from $3,000 for first-level offences to $500,000 for offences at the 10th level. There are 40 offences specified that attract these fixed penalties. Among the penalties are a $5,000 fine for not wearing a mask in a public place, refusing to comply with social distance rules, and breaching the rule governing public transportation. A $10,000 fine is to be paid by those who do not comply with the curfew order or who fail to stay at home when experiencing flu-like symptoms. Gathering in groups of more than 10, operating a gym outside of specified hours, or hosting small outdoor events are breaches that each attract a fine of $20,000. Jamaicans who fail to quarantine upon returning home from overseas will be charged $25,000, while tourists who refuse to stay inside the resilient corridor will face a $30,000 fine. Companies that do not comply with specified workplace requirements will be fined $50,000. A $50,000 fine will be meted out to persons who break quarantine after testing positive for COVID-19, and a $100,000 fine for those who conduct funerals, worship service, burials, or weddings in contravention of the Act. Bars operating outside of the times specified or operating without the necessary licenses will also be fined $100,000. Persons who operate a beach, zoo, or park outside of specified times will face a $250,000 fine. And hotels or resorts that fail to operate within the COVID-19 protocols will be fined $500,000. This fine also applies to operating a hotel or resort not licensed under the Tourist Board Act or certified by TPDCO. Nightclubs, amusement parks, or water attractions operating when ordered closed, and business process outsourcing companies which breach the protocols.
The notice also offers a chance of paying a fixed penalty for the offense within a specified period of time, failing which the notice becomes a summons to the court, a summons to appear in court to answer the charges.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come scam. Take time running, because we ready for the ops. Drive up on your block, step out now me block. Cyber take a boy your laptop. Pull up every lock, no evidence a drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the underline. Sin you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. They say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for. From you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Please say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
MOCA, MOCA.
Practice good hygiene by washing your hands frequently using soap and water. Here's how you should do it while conserving water. Turn on the tap to wet your hands, then turn off the pipe. Lather your hands and the tap with soap. Turn on the tap and wash your hands, back, front, and in between fingers. Use some of the water to wash off the tap, then turn it off. Dry your hands with disposable hand towels. If you don't have running water, use a hand rub containing 62% or more alcohol. If hand sanitizers are not available, rubbing alcohol, Dettol, white rum, or household bleach will do the trick. And if all else fails, let hand washing and the handling of potable water be a two-person event. Each person will take turns pouring and washing hands with sitting water.
Now is a good time to consider installing a tap on your containers to reduce the risk of water contamination. Faucets can be easily attached to drums, buckets, or 5-gallon water bottles. And to ensure that the outside of the containers are clean when recapping, disinfect it with hand rub containing alcohol that's 62% or more. The 5 R's of water conservation are also necessary to practice. Reduce water wastage by investing in water-saving devices. Reuse water at least twice before discarding. Replace leaking pipes, faucets, and other plumbing equipment. Recycle wastewater and use it for gardening, car washing, or cleaning of public spaces. And reclaim water through rainwater harvesting. We all must play our part to ensure there's water to combat the coronavirus and stave off prolonged drought.
My job is to ensure that every man, woman, and child maintain good health at all times.
Our primary function is to ensure that government services are delivered effectively and efficiently.
We are building forward
together.
You've reached the final page of the magazine. Thanks so much for being with us on today's journey. Another Jamaica Magazine unfolds tomorrow, so come back same time on this same station. Until then, click on our social media pages for more informative features. While there, please subscribe to our pages and channels so you can stay in the know. I'm Adrian Atkinson, encouraging you to stay home to reduce the transmission rate.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.